Hi there. Welcome to a demonstration of the Federal Relationship Manager, or FRM for short. The FRM is a software tool designed by researchers in the Knowledge and Data Engineering Group in Trinity College Dublin to help people to manage access to information systems and resources. Although it is useful in managing access in pretty much any scenario, it is especially helpful in situations where the managed resources are dynamic in terms of both content and structure, and where access must be granted to actors who belong to a variety of autonomous domains. The FRM allows administrators to share fine-grained access and management rights between domains in a flexible and secure manner. It also provides tools to help human managers to visualize the relationship between domains and the resources that are shared through those relationships. The scope of the FRM is based on the layered federation model, an abstract model which describes the various concerns that must be addressed by a practical cross-domain management solution. We start with trusted communication, build relationship definitions on top of that, then create shared semantics, which all allow us to share capabilities, specify operational rules, and finally to monitor and audit the relationship. In the FAME project, we've been applying the FRM system to the problem of sharing access to network management services across federations of providers in order to allow them to interoperate more seamlessly so that they can better deliver end-to-end user services. The FRM allows participants in these service delivery pipelines to securely expose parts of their internal network management and configuration systems to other participants. So let's have a look at the FRM. This is the main administration screen. On the left is the domain map. The square green box represents the FRM server itself. Green nodes are local domains. They represent groups within the organization. Each group can have its own administrators. The circles are ordinary domains. The stars represent federations. By clicking on a node, we can bring up that node's domain administration screen. The lines between domains represent relationships. The concentric circles represent distance between domains. Other colored nodes represent domains that are hosted by remote FRMs. On the right-hand side, we have the domain management functions. At the top are the domain details. Under the hood, domains are represented by public keys, and domain relationships are trust relationships between those keys. Beneath the domain details is the domain policy panel, which allows administrators to specify the visibility of each domain, what domains it can form relationships with, and which domains it can share resources with. Finally, the bottom panel allows administrators to manage the relationships between domains and to create new relationships. Several different types of relationships are supported. Now we'll look at an example of the FRM in action, using a subset of the FAME project as a case study. 3 of the partners, Trinity, WIT, and IBM, are using FRMs to share resources. Each of the partners has their own FRM. This is the Trinity FRM, this is the WIT FRM, and this is the IBM FRM. The FAME federal domain is hosted by the project lead, WIT. Each of the partners has their own view of the federation, depending on their respective visibility policies. In this scenario, Cisco have started to use the FRM, and their Enterprise Social Networking research team will join the FAME Federation. First, we need to create a trust relationship between the 2 FRM servers. This allows the administrators to ensure that the servers are who they say they are. They must manually approve the key and identity of the remote server and activate the link. The administrators of the WIT FRM must also approve this link. Once the servers have been approved, the domain administrators can set up the relationship. Cisco's Enterprise Social Networking team uses the relationship management tool to create a member to federal relationship to FAME. This causes an API call to the WIT FRM, which prompts an exchange of public keys. In this case, all members of the FAME Federation must be approved by the FAME administrators. The FAME domain administrators use the relationship management tool to approve the requested link to the Cisco group. Now, as we see, the Cisco Enterprise Social Networking Group is a member of FAME. the domains can now start to share resources, although in order to do so they need to specify a policy that allows them to delegate to one another. Before we actually use the FRM to share access to resources, we need to introduce the idea of capability models. These are ordered semantic models of an organization's managed resources. Each node in the capability model is identified by a URI, which resolves to a call to the FRM's RESTful API. The capabilities that are shared between FRM domains are cryptographically signed secure references to nodes on the capability model. This approach allows several desirable features. Firstly, rather than distributing individual permissions, shared capabilities can represent complex aggregations of permissions. Secondly, as the capabilities consist of API references to semantically rich models, they are effectively self-describing. The combination of these two features allows us to subdivide capabilities in a myriad of ways to create expressive delegation chains. And finally, capability models can be safely modified in a number of well-defined ways without affecting capabilities that have been previously shared. Resources can be reorganized to add new features, for example, and these new features can be automatically incorporated into already shared capabilities. So let's look at these capability models within the FRM software. This graphic represents the various resources managed by the WIT FRM. In this example, there are three basic resource models: a collection of IPTV streams, the WIT network, and a collection of UPnP services supported by devices that reside on that network. The FRM uses the ordering of the capability model to subdivide each of these resources into subcapabilities, allowing administrators to select as fine-grained a set of permissions as they require. The FRM also automatically generates dialogues which allow complex filters to apply to capabilities. In this case, we will share the IPTV capability with the FAME domain. This represents delegating authority to manage all of WIT's IPTV streams to the managers of the FAME domain. If we look under the hood, we can see that the FRM has created a signed certificate using the Keynote Trust Management language, which authorizes FAME to manage the IP resource using the special FRM capability comparison operator. Now that FAME has been delegated authority to manage the IPTV stream resource, we'll use the FRM to share that capability with the Cisco Enterprise Social Networking Group using the relationship that we created earlier. We select the Cisco group from our list of relationships. We can see the IPTV resource has appeared as a delegation in FAME's set of capabilities. Once again, we'll delegate the entire resource to the Cisco group. In this case, the delegation must be approved by Cisco's admins. Now, on the Cisco FRM, we can see that the delegation capability has appeared in the Enterprise Social Networking Group's list of capabilities. Once the capability delegation has been approved by the Cisco admins, it becomes available in their set of capabilities. Once again, if we look under the hood, we can see that a Keynote certificate has been issued to the Cisco FRM from FAME to the Enterprise Social Networking Group. The certificate references the FAME FRM URI that corresponds to the IPTV resource and has been cryptographically signed by that domain. The IPTV capability is now available to the Cisco group to use and to share internally. The capability appears in the group's capability tree. It's worth noting that this node is directly injected into the Cisco FRM user interface by a call to the WIT FRM. So finally, we'll set up a filter on this capability and share the new capability with the entire research community within Cisco. So that's it for this demonstration. We've shown how the FRM can be used to securely share resources between autonomous domains using trusted delegation chains. Thank you for your attention.